G'day Rugby League Tragics, it's the Rugby League guy here with the round 5 wrap-up and the round 6 tips, and I'm going to get through these in record time, see if I don't. So last Thursday night at McDonald Jones Stadium in Newcastle, it was Manly 30, the night 6. Then it was off to Moreton Daly Stadium in Redcliffe, where the Warriors put paid to me, getting 8 from 8 in my tips with a 25-24 win over the Cowboys. We then headed up to Suncorp Stadium for what I thought was a really good game of footy, actually, with the Roosters getting home 24-20 over the Broncos. Then we went down to Canberra, where the Storm got home, as you would expect, 30 points to 16. The Raiders disgraced by no means. Then we headed to the Rabbitohs-Dragons clash. Probably not the most awe-inspiring game of footy, but given the Tigers-Titans game the week before, it wasn't the worst I've seen in the last couple of weeks. Speaking of the Titans, up to the Goldie for their clash with the Eels, where they went down by 26 points to 20. Another close game, because back in round 1 it was a close affair, and another close one again there. And it certainly kept the crowd on their feet, so not a bad game. Then it was over to Shark Park down in the Shire, where the Sharks, I don't think, got out of second gear, if I'm honest. I thought the West Tigers were lucky not to have 50 put on them, and other teams might have just done that on the day. They were appalling. They're not NRL standard. Mamalo got a try literally in the final seconds from an intercept, and it was the only time the Tigers even remotely looked like putting the ball over the line. I've been asked a lot of questions in the last couple of weeks about the Tigers, where I see them, Michael Maguire, the playing roster, the board, the whole lot. So what I'm going to do is throw that all into a separate video and just talk about the West Tigers and the West Tigers only. So if you're a Tigers fan or you're interested in what's going on there and you want to hear what I've got to say, all three of you, then tune in. It'll either be probably tomorrow, Good Friday. And then the last game of the round, we saw the Bulldogs go down to the Panthers by 32 points to 12. Not disgraced either. Cole Flanagan into the side for the first time in a while. Played really well, but the Panthers just too good, too strong. And, of course, Ivan Cleary and Nathan both signing on for extended contract periods of 5 years. So fantastic news if you're a Penrith fan. Now, round 6 starts tonight. Raiders, Cowboys. I think, from memory, I've gone the Cowboys here. I'll pop them up later. I think I already popped them up during the week anyway, but I think I've gone the Cowboys. Now, Rabbitohs, Bulldogs, I know what you're all thinking. Oh, here he goes. He's a Bulldog supporter and he's going to talk them up. I actually think they're a chance. I think they're a good chance. And I'm taking them by about 4 points tomorrow. A Good Friday game. First non-Sunday game they've had all year. And I think they'll go all right, the Dogs. I don't think the Rabbitohs are overly in their best form at the moment. And I think the Dogs are just showing some slight improvement. And, they've had one win this year against the Cowboys in round 1, and they know themselves they're due another one. So I'm half expecting it to be tomorrow, and I'm looking forward to that one. Tomorrow night, 7:55, Panthers, Broncos. Should be another cracking game, really, because the Broncos, although they're not necessarily winning games, they're playing some pretty decent games. And it was a good one last week against the Roosters, as I say, and I think they will be pretty competitive against the Panthers tomorrow night. I think the Panthers will get home, of course, but I don't think it'll be an atrocity by any means. Seagulls, Titans. Look, a bit of a close one here, but I think the fact that it's down at Brookie, Saturday night, 5:30, they'll probably get a decent crowd down there for that one. And I think the Seagulls will get home against the Titans there. Again, I think it'll be a reasonably close game, but I reckon the Seagulls maybe by 8 to 10. And I think on the back of two blokes that I said were playing on old legs for the first 2 or 3 weeks, and they were, but they're steering the ship now and they're playing brilliantly. Daly Cherry Evans and Kieran Foran, well done to both of them. They've really taken the bull by the horns and are leading the Seagulls around well. Storm and Sharks, this will be a great game of footy, and make no mistake, I think the Storm will get up. I think they will be too good, but I think this will be reasonably close. But what it is going to be more so is a real test of where the Sharks are at in terms of their current level, because they played the Tigers last week, and I mean they've played some half decent teams, but I think this will be the real test that Craig Fitzgibbon will be really measuring them on. Roosters versus Warriors Sunday at 2:00. Gone the Roosters again. You don't know what Warriors team's going to turn up. It's the 20th anniversary from the 2002 grand final clash. I think the Roosters are due some improvement. I don't think Trent Robinson's out to push them too hard too soon. He knows that it's a long season and he'll want them to progress slowly. But, I think they're probably they're winning a few games and not playing their best footy. And if I'm a coach, I'd rather win ugly than lose spectacularly. So I think the Roosters will get that one on Sunday. And then it's over to Cogra. And that's where we'll see the Dragons of the Knights. Now, I was tempted to go to the Dragons, particularly because they're playing at home. They haven't won for a little while, and but I've taken the Knights. I think the Knights will get there, and I think the likes of Dane Gagai and Frizzell. Oh, geez, I like Frizzell. I really do like Frizzell, and I think the Knights will get home. And then to finish the round, it's the Eels and the West Tigers. Now, strap yourselves in for what could be a cricket score. I hope not, because I get no joy out of seeing the West Tigers get flogged. I get no joy at all out of it. As I've said before, I'm a huge fan of Michael Maguire, and it really saddens me to know that he's probably going to be going out the door shortly. I think the Eels will put 50 on. I think it's probably going to be something like 58. Gee whiz, if they get 6, they'll be lucky. I think the Eels, Brad Arthur will be saying, listen here, we're going to turn the screws here. A bit like the Sharks, finding what level they're at. I think the Eels are going to want to really put points on a team that they should be putting points on. And I think Brad Arthur will be saying, we're not going to go out there and put the foot half down on the accelerator. We're gonna start this and we're gonna finish it, and that's why I think the Eels. I think it's going to be like a 58-6 type scoreline. I hope not for West Tigers' sake, but you just can't imagine it being too far from that. So that's the tips. Now, you guys didn't give me any sort of catch cry to finish my videos on, so what I've come up with for this week is, if you're going to chip, don't forget to chase. I'll talk to you guys in the next, probably tomorrow, about the West Tigers. Tune in for that. And if there's any videos or anything you want me to comment on, let me know, and I'll get round to them. In the meantime, enjoy the footy.